Hey guys, John here. In this video, I'm going to share some great backpacking tips with you, and they all have one thing in common. They came from you, the viewers. Let's go. One of the most rewarding things I've experienced since starting this channel is the interaction with the viewers and the backpacking community. I like to share all kinds of tips and tricks, but then you guys go and kick it up a notch and share stuff that's even better. So with that in mind, I decided to create this video so we as a backpacking community can continue to share information and get better at what we do. This first tip comes from Ross Blazingame. And just for a little bit of background, when you're out on the trail and you have limited water, such as when you're dry camping, you don't want to waste a bunch of water at night when you've got maybe 2 or 3 liters to get you through the rest of the evening and maybe 5 or 10 miles the next morning. So here's Ross's idea. What he did was take a cap from a Smart Water bottle and he drilled about 10 holes in it to make it kind of like a salt shaker. Then he screwed that cap on the water bottle and was able to shake it out onto his hand like a mini hand shower. So I went ahead and tried this out to see if it would work. And sure enough, it worked absolutely awesome. Here's a look. I really like this idea because I wear contact lenses and I need to keep my hands clean before I put my contacts in or take them out. And sometimes I use more water than I would like when I'm washing my hands. So if I use this cap, I'm going to be able to minimize the amount of water I use and not waste so much of it. So Ross, thank you very much for this idea. I am for sure going to take one of these caps with me on my upcoming thru hike of the PCT, and I'm going to use it every day. Thank you very much for sharing it. The next tip comes from John Freeval. Now, in one of my recent videos, I talked about one of my biggest fears for the upcoming PCT thru hike, and that is my shoes freezing solid. Let's take a look. My biggest fear is getting frozen shoes. I just don't want that to happen. And so if I have to, I will literally sleep with my muddy, wet shoes in my quilt because I am not dealing with frozen shoes. So John's suggestion is to take a small plastic bag, maybe a trash compactor bag, and keep my shoes inside that if I want to have them inside my quilt. And what I like about this idea is it allows me to keep my shoes warm without getting all that mud and dirt and whatever on the inside of my quilt. I really like that idea, John. I am going to use it. I will be taking a bag with me when I get to the Sierra, and when it gets really cold at night and my shoes are soaking wet, I'm going to put them in the bag, I'm going to put it in my quilt, and my shoes are not going to freeze solid, so I can avoid the nightmare of frozen solid shoes. The next one comes from David Terry, and in a recent video I talked about a tip for dealing with bagging your toilet paper and packing it out, because in a lot of areas nowadays you need to pack out your toilet paper, and more it's just becoming a best practice when you're out in the backcountry. And my suggestion talked about triple bagging it with a dryer sheet. Now David took it a step further and he's got a much better idea that I'm for sure going to use. Now David's idea is to use a doggy poop bag and treat your toilet paper the same way you would if you're picking up after your dog if you're out on a walk. So what you do is you take a little baggie and you slide your hand into it, and then you pick up the toilet paper, you slide the bag back over it, and you tie it off, and you put it into a larger bag. This seems like a way better idea than what I had proposed, because now you've got these little baggies all put together, they're all separated from everything else, and they're all sealed up, and you don't have to worry about that stench nearly as much as with my plan. So David, I am absolutely going to use this idea. I already have these doggy poop bags laying around the house because we have a dog and we take him on walks all the time and we pick up after him like you're supposed to. So thank you, this is awesome, and it's going to help make that whole deal of packing out toilet paper a lot better. But David didn't stop there. He also had another suggestion, and that is to dig your cat hole the night before so you're all ready to go in the morning. Now, if you are regular enough to be able to plan that way, this is a great idea, because I don't know if you're like me, I have had to dig a cat hole under duress, say a game of beat the clock, if you will, and that's not fun. So if you found your spot and you had the hole dug ahead of time, you get up in the morning, you go find the hole, you do your business, and you're all set. It's a fantastic idea, gonna save time in the morning and also save a little bit of sweating, if you know what I mean. So thank you, David. Love those ideas. Certainly things I'm going to try when I'm out on the trail. Thank you to everyone for your positive comments, your feedback, and your tips. When you share stuff like this, it helps us all get better at what we do. And backpacking is one of those activities where we're continuously improving, we're constantly evolving our skills, and when we learn from one another, it just makes us all better at what we do. So thank you so much for all your contributions. When you share stuff like this, you are truly part of the backpacking community. As always, if you found any value in this video, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to my channel. It really helps the channel when you guys do that, and thank you very much to those who have already subscribed. Thanks, and we'll see you out on the trail.